Welcome back, my wigged-out waist watchers. Your planetary Punchinello sugar pants popping back post-haste with procured pieces of pedantic perversion. And today we've got a whopper of a wingding. 1982's Xtro. An alien allegory about an abducted adult who returns to Earth not quite as human as he left. In fact, the guy's humanity gets less and less the longer he hangs around. So let's beam up that sleaze docket and break out the anal probes to find out what this tasty extraterrestrial treat is trotting out. We have 8 dead bodies, 18 cups blood, 1 cup alien blood, 4 naked breasts, 1 naked butt, 1 naked bajingo, 1 bucket full of alien eggs, snake egg tartare, 1 maggoty rabbit, 1 large chunk of scalp, 2 dog senses danger cliches, nobody believes the kid cliche, I gotta check this out cliche, nosy neighbor cliche, 1 alien abduction, silent flaming crash landing, nightmare fuel meme source, Tom Peepery, leg grab jump scare, alien tongue to the eyes, alien penis to the face, alien fetus penis to the face, alien shoulder sucking, alien belly sucking, umbilical cord chewing, 1 disemboweling, natural gas huffing, 1 flaming melted phone, clown nightmare fuel, giant British G.I. Joe, 1 tenderized snake, 1 bayoneted old biddy, hammer to the head, panther mauling, bladed yo-yo throat slashing, 1 cocooned human, 2 ruptured ears, rapidly decomposing alien host body, and fully formed adult human birthing. Xtro's story is all about Sam, a friendly British daddy who loves his son Tony. While playing in the yard, he throws the dog's stick into the air where it explodes into light and wind. Tony watches as his dad is lifted up into the light storm and wakes up screaming. His mom, Rachel, comes to comfort him back to sleep. As in typical horror movie fashion, the sensible adults never believe the children's stories. In their minds, Sam just abandoned his family for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and Rachel has moved on. We cut to the countryside where a glowing triangular light is quietly drifting through the night sky. Fade to a flaming, wreck? I don't know. There's no ship and absolutely no noise, so who knows? But something slimy is crawling and growing in the leaves. Eventually something twisted and fleshy forms to become the standard meme for freaky fucking shit. So if you've seen these images floating around the internet, now you know its source. A passing car strikes the creepy beastie, and the British mullet who is driving insists on checking it out. Eventually he finds a bloody pile of meat that gives his face a good tonguing. The lady gets a nondescript off-camera death, and the alien continues down the road to a quiet little home. The dog does his best to alert the lady inside, and she eventually breaks out the shoddy. So for those keeping score, 0 people believing the kid, 1 person believes the dog. She gets a jump scare leg grab which knocks her to the floor, and the slimy creep gives her mouth the old lower tentacle. Seriously though, it's hard to say exactly where this appendage bursts out of. I don't want to say it's his tucked away alien penis, but I don't have the wherewithal to argue that it's not. Back at Rachel's house, Tony is having trouble sleeping all of a sudden. Mom checks on him to find he's covered in a lot of fucking blood.
Holy shit, did you kill someone?
No, I just had a huge fat period.
That seems like a lot of blood.
It's way more than normal.
She calls the doctor who checks him over, but finds absolutely nothing wrong. He tells Rachel that it can't be Tony's blood because he couldn't possibly lose that much and still be talking. We also find out Tony's got a cute little French au pair named Annalise who gives the movie some much needed sexy content later on. Back at the other house, the lady is slowly getting up and not looking so good. But she's better off than the giant pile of viscera in the corner the dog's lapping up. I mean, we saw what she was feeding the pupper earlier, so I Can't really blame him for wanting something a little fresher. The lady staggers to the sink for some water, but sudden painful stretchy noises cause her to reel back. She falls to the floor, and suddenly her belly balloons to gargantuan proportion. Gore spews from between her legs, and a fucking full-grown human being crawls out of her baby hanger. Jesus. We're barely 20 minutes into this one. Oh look, it's Sam. He chews through the umbilical cord, washes up, steals the clothing from the mullet dude, and decides to... A few raspy grunts and the phone starts smoking and melting. Okay. So clearly Sam gained a few new issues while he was away. Rachel goes to pick Tony up from school, but is told his father picked him up, which sends her running down the street. She finds her son and is shocked to see Sam.
Mom?
Your mum's upset.
Sam claims he has absolutely no memory from between the incident at the cottage and this morning, which leaves us all wondering if he's telling the truth or not. Rachel brings him to her apartment, which pisses off her new guy, Joe. At one point, Sam tells Tony that he's no longer the same as he was before, that he had to be changed to live in the world where he was taken to, and that he came back for Tony. He gives him a weird alien shoulder hickey, and then he begins to teach him how to use the brand new magical powers he's acquired.
You'll be able to do lots of things. Don't be frightened. Use it when you need it.
And the rest of the movie is, well, to paraphrase the director, a drug-addled string of random events the writers all thought would be neat. For example, Tony uses his alien magic to bring a few of his toys to life. Like the soldier action figure he sends out to bayonet the nosy neighbor who killed Tony's pet snake when it got loose. Or the tank and panther toys that kill Annalise's boyfriend. But the best one, by far, is the little wooden acrobatic clown, who shows up and then never fucking leaves. And he even comes with a badass bladed yo-yo. This little bastard gets the most screen time out of all of Tony's toys, almost becoming a sort of minion, helping with whatever insidious plans Sam has in store for the world. He takes out Annalise by hiding in the elevator, and while dragging her to the bathroom, knocks her back into unconsciousness with a wobbly hammer. While unconscious, Tony begins sucking on her belly. This act is really never explained. I can't tell if he's feeding or if this physical contact is how some of the alien magic works. I mean, Sam did this to Tony, and then he suddenly started using his powers. Tony does it to Annalise, and the next time we see her, she's cocooned in the bathtub, and eventually ends up stuck up against the wall with a brand new ovipositor. Oh, that's a fancy word for egg-laying organ, typically found in the insect world. I also discovered it's a form of sex toy for those with the kink of being impregnated by a fantasy creature. Oh, I'm not kink-shaming by any means, but you really cannot safely Google anything anymore. Anyway, the little clown is still here, taking the eggs from Annalise and depositing them into an overturned fridge full of pistachio pudding. All along the movie, we get some subtle clues that Sam just ain't right. Eating raw snake eggs, huffing natural gas, large chunks of scalp falling off. You know, little indicators that all is not well in the kingdom. At one point, Sam convinces Rachel that he needs to go back to the cabin where it all started. While up there, he starts reconnecting with his ex. And I mean really reconnecting. Unfortunately, the mood is killed by the fact that Sam is starting to decay or something. He's got giant lesions on his back and face that are oozing black and orange goo. Eventually, Joe picks up Tony and he races to the cabin to see what's going on. And what's going on is Sam looks worse every time he's on camera. He and Tony meet back up and the two head deeper into the woods. Joe tries to stop them, but is killed by an ear-splitting scream. Sam's human body has completely failed, and he's taken on his true form, which is quite monstrous. And Tony's looking pretty terrible too. Rachel cries out for them, but the two disappear in a giant laser light show, leaving her all by herself. So naturally, let's go back to the apartment and snoop around. She opens the door to the all-white room, finds the incubating eggs, and... roll the fucking credits. Damn, wasn't that one hell of a ride? There is an alternate ending to this one. Rachel still comes back to the apartment, but instead of being attacked by an Xtro ego, she finds a room full of Tony clones. Personally, I prefer the more sinister egg death ending, though both of them are unsettling in their own way. What makes Xtro an interesting movie is that it has this otherworldly, dreamy, nightmarish quality that really makes it stand out from a lot of trashy alien movies. There's a lot left unexplained, and it leaves an unsettling, confused feeling afterwards. Writer-director Harry Bromley Davenport has done interviews where he says he's embarrassed by the film and that the bizarre atmosphere was completely unintentional.
There's no logic to it at all. But I don't know, maybe that's what some people have liked about the film, is that it is such an extraordinary mess.
Personally, I think he's being too hard on himself, because I absolutely love Xtro. I remember the first time I saw it and thought, this is fucking terrible. But then I walked away and the funniest thing happened. I wanted to watch it again. And again. And again. It's got an indescribable quality that really makes it unique. However you personally feel about it, you have to admit there aren't a lot of movies that feel like Xtro does. Davenport would go on to make 2 sequels to Xtro that have absolutely no connection to each other. Apparently he retained the rights to the name Xtro, but not the story rights. I've only seen parts of the 3rd installment, but maybe someday I'll get around to giving them both a proper viewing. About the only real notable member of the cast is Miriam Diabo, who played Annalise in her first acting gig. She would go on to become a Bond girl in The Living Daylights. She also did 1 episode of Tales from the Crypt, and starred in both the TV miniseries and the TV series of Something Is Out There, which I enjoyed a very, very long time ago when it first aired on NBC. Although it should be noted that 3 cast members would go on to be in Return of the Jedi. Peter Mandel, who played the clown, was an Ewok. The Commando toy was played by Sean Crawford, who you can see as Yak Face, as well as a Mon Calamari officer. And the monster was played by Tim Dry, who would be Jaquil and Tana Spijek. So now that another musty, dusty, moldy oldie has been reviewed and rewound, it's time to say farewell for now, because I've got to get back to my in-depth ovipositor research. And until I greet you next time for another nasty nosh, this is your greasy gagster Sugar Pants. See you in your dreams.
G.I. Joe attack! Go, go! G.I. Joe takes battle! Bam, bam! Terrific battle!
Terrific equipment to have a battle with. When you get G.I. Joe and the authentic G.I. Joe equipment, you'll have the greatest realism, the greatest fun you ever had in playing soldier. Get G.I. Joe and get G.I. Joe equipment so you can set up exciting battle action whenever you want.